Hey everyone, today I just want to share with you the supplies that I bought and used in the art course that I took. If you want to know more about it, then check out the vlog, and I also made a video kind of talking about all the pieces that I made. But this is what I picked up in the art store in Vienna. You can also see a little bit of footage of that store in the vlog if you're interested. I'll show you what I got. So I picked up a few of the Caran d'Ache Supra Color Soft, or 2 Soft. And these are, basically Caran d'Ache has 2 ranges of watercolor pencils. I think at least in their like artist grade range. Maybe they have some more that are like student grade, but these are their main watercolor pencils, so that means they're water soluble. And the best pencil out there, in my opinion, is their Museum Aquarelle. But the problem with this pencil, besides the fact that it's quite expensive for a pencil, I think it's also like the most expensive watercolor pencil out there, is that the color range is not that wide. It is a glorious pencil. If you want watercolor pencils, grab a couple of these, you know, to see how you like them, but I haven't come across anything better. The Supra color range has a lot more colors, and there are some beautiful colors there. And I just picked a few, so let me zoom you in. So this one is Raspberry Red 270, and these are really nice. I would say they're comparable to other artist grade watercolor pencils out there, such as the Albrecht Dürer pencils from Faber-Castell. So yeah, and they're also cheaper than the Museum Aquarelle. This is Ruby Red. I just really like these colors. I think they're basically like a very, very similar color, with this one being slightly redder and darker than the Raspberry Red. And then this one is light purple. It's my, you know, Cobalt Violet moment. This color really doesn't exist in their Museum Aquarelle range. So there it is. They are good. They're not amazing like their sisters. So let's just take a look. And you can see that on this paper, there's still, you can see the original lines that I made. I usually sketch with watercolor pencils into watercolor, and so I don't need this to be particularly smooth. I don't paint with watercolor, like sketch with watercolor pencils and then activate it. Like they're never my main medium. So to me, they don't have to like perfectly blend. But you can see this is more of an anemic color. So as I said, they're not like amazing like their sisters, but they have really, really lovely colors. And so I just added a few to my, this is a Museum Aquarelle. I mean, it's also a darker color, so it's not exactly, you know, it's apples and oranges, but yeah. So I got these 3. And now to the kind of slightly more interesting things. So all of these things have been already used, I think all of them. So this is a binder. This is one of the basic materials we needed for the course, because basically we mixed everything that we used, if it was sand or like that crackle paste that we created, or pigments, everything had binder in them. And I bought 3 of these large bottles. They have 750 ml, and this is by Guardi, which is kind of like one of the home brands of Boesner, the shop where I got this, I think. Yeah, and this is made in Germany, and yeah, this is just binder. I'll tell you what the label says if you're not sure what it does. High quality synthetic resin dispersion binder, thick consistency, can be thinned with water, causes hardly any smell, miscible to produce, miscible? I don't know the word. To produce acrylic paints that are insoluble with water when dried, and as primer ground on fabric, supports for painting. Okay, that's not a very nice translation. Anyway, yeah, so this is very, very watered down, and we used this mixture of binder and water, you can see I just wrote it on the bottle, to kind of give a nice finish to our paintings that protects them but is still matte, which I like most of the time. So this is, a lot of it is kind of like basic stuff. This I just picked up on, I think, day 3 or something, or day 2, when we started adding color, and I knew I wanted to add a lot of white, and I wasn't sure I would be able to like mix enough white, because we used pigments for everything. We did have a lot of white pigment, but yeah, it wasn't mine, so I didn't want to go crazy with it, and that's why I bought this huge container of white acrylic paint. This is just titanium white. This is from Boesner, the shop where I got this, and this is a 1 liter thing. I didn't enjoy using it in this particular setting with the techniques that we worked, because this is very, it's kind of heavy body. It has quite a lot of body to it. It's not like super heavy body, but it is heavy body, and it's just a lot more plasticky. And everything we did in the course was like very, very watered down, and it had a really, like, one of the things I really enjoyed, and I'm so happy that I learned these techniques, is it really gives acrylic paint more the finish of watercolors to me, that, like, you know, watery matte feel. And yeah, so I just got that because I thought it would be a shortcut, but I don't think it was a good choice. So here is a good example. This is, I bought a few of these containers. They're actually really good. I mean, time will tell how easy it is to open them with dried paint and everything. Yeah, it's no problem. But in this, we mixed some of the colors. So this is a mixture of, you can see, we used very, very watery, but still intense, because they were made with, you know, pure pigments. This is the kind of like consistency that we used. So very liquid. This pigment, I will show it to you in a second. And these jars were really, really nice for it. You could blend quite a nice amount. This is 500 mils. And yeah, they were just, I think, like €3 a jar, which is not super, super cheap, especially if you want to buy a bunch, but it's also, you know, for like a good container, it's fine. So let's look at some pigments, but before I get into the pigments, this was a very, very wonderful, sweet gift from my friend Eva, and she got me this spray bottle. There's a ton of spraying in the course we did, like a ton of spraying. We use a lot of water, and you know, I mean, also when I paint with watercolors, not to that amount, but I still use my spray bottle every time I paint to wet my watercolors, to clean my palette, sometimes to help paint run. So this is like a really nice spray bottle. I don't know this company. I think my friend said that they kind of have a business model similar to Tupperware. But yeah, I don't know. If you want to know more about it, feel free to Google this. I just got my spray bottle and I used it the entire week, and it was fantastic. So it's one of those things that are so basic, but if you have something good, it really, really elevates your experience. So this is another paint that I bought, and the reason that I bought this one was, I mean, I really wanted to have the color. This is neon red. You can see it's, camera doesn't really capture neon very good, but I think you can get a pretty good idea. Somewhere between a red and an orange, like a pink and an orange. And I really, really like this shade of neon watercolors, neon paint. But I wanted to get the pigment, but the pigment is crazy expensive. Like a jar like this costs, I think, 30 something euros. And I didn't want that kind of commitment. So I got this and I just watered it down a lot. I do wish I had the pigment. Maybe I will buy it at some point in my life. Oh. That's what I thought. And then I went to the art shop. And my friend Eva was, wow, I'm like borderline dementia here. Yeah, so my friend offered to share it with me, the pigment, and so we split the costs. But this is the mixture that I mixed myself. And let's see now if I can get this jar to open. Ugh. Yeah, here we go. So this is mixed from the pigment. I think the camera just captures, like, you know, crazy neon light. But yeah, it's in there. I can still use it. I should probably buy that canvas that I want to buy. Although this particular color doesn't really work for the color scheme that I want. So yeah, but I'll show you the pigment in a second. This is another bottle of binder that I have left over. I think I used 2. So I'll start with this. This is just some pigment that my friend gave me, and I loved painting with this, and this would be perfect for my living room canvas. What is going on? That I want to make. I think just the color. This is Green Earth. It's quite an inexpensive pigment, and you can see it's like this very, very soft green. It's, I think, also a very common pigment in watercolors, and I think I had it in one of my a set that I got, and I think I threw it out or something. And yeah, because I hated it, and I really hated this color for a long, long time, but I really enjoyed using it. My friend had it, and I had the chance to use it during that week, and really fell in love with it, and also with how it looks with, you know, my signature colors. And so she gave me a little bit of the pigment. Hopefully I will use it. Okay, another thing before I get into the pigments is, at some point I was really like, I just wanted some fluid acrylics, and they had a little shop on the venue, or in the venue where the course took place, and they didn't have golden or anything like that, but they did have these acrylic inks from Schminke, and so I picked the olive green and gold ochre. Let me show you the colors. So this is super, super intense acrylic ink. Many companies make such products. And yeah, these just work wonderful with water. And they love water. Water loves them. So you can see this is olive green. It's a beautiful... It reads a bit greener on screen from what I can see on my camera screen. It is more earthy and yellowy. No! Get away! Oh no! It's more earthy and yellowy in reality, which is what I like. That is how I like my greens. This is acrylic ink. It doesn't go away. And then we have this color. This is gold ochre, and kind of the color that I wanted was I guess, these two together. This is a intense gold ochre. And so I just wanted kind of a green gold, and they didn't really have it. But these together, I mean, this gold ochre is intense. It looks like a quinacridone gold, not like an ochre. Usually the ochres are, you know, a bit, they're not so intense. But yeah, these are beautiful. I enjoyed using them. I just wanted that pop of green, and I didn't want to start like mixing, you know, with the pigments and everything. So that's that. Go away now. Okay. Okay, now really the pigments. Let's start with the star. So we looked a bit around in the art shop until we found this. Cobalt Violet, of course. They had, in the store we went to, they had several brands of pigments. In my local shop, there is no such a large selection. So the store in Vienna is definitely better for this. And yeah, this is an expensive pigment, Cobalt Violet, and it also comes in just like, it can look different. Some companies make it or have a more pinkish version or reddish version, and then others have more of a bluish version. I really, really like the pinky Cobalt Violets, and I think there was one that was even pinker from Old Holland, I think, if memory serves, but it was like twice the price. So this was still expensive, but it was really packed in there. You get 60 grams, and I used quite a bit of it, and I still have plenty. This is not a color that actually, I think, shines when you use it in large amounts. I think it shines when it's a pop of color or kind of mixed with like yellows. So yeah, but we got this one, and then kind of a similar vibe that you can find a lot more in a more affordable version, but it's just not the same. It's a lot more opaque. It's not as luminous and transparent as the Cobalt Violets, but still a lovely pigment is Ultramarine Red. And this one is, you can see like this big plastic jar. It's not as small and, you know, glass elegant like this one from Schminke, but does the job. And actually don't see numbers here. This is PV14, Cobalt Violet, and then here I don't see a pigment code. But yeah, the color that you get, it's nice, but it's kind of opaque, and it's really, really intense. So also use cautiously. And then for my pink, I went with quinacridone Pink Light. This is crazy intense. Again, just like use with caution. There's something so exciting, I think, for any artist, at least for this one here, to work with pure pigments. So I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to do this with, you know, guidance. And also, particularly with the techniques that I learned, it's exactly the way I would want to use pigments with, you know, if I wanted to use like acrylic paints. So yeah, this one wasn't like crazy expensive, and you get like so much, and this is so intense. It's probably a little bit more opaque than I would have liked, but it's really nice. And wait, I'll show you first what I bought. This one I also enjoyed using. This is Gold Ochre Light. This is kind of a soft, earthy yellow. It reads a little bit more yellow on camera. It's a bit more, it's kind of less bright yellow. It's a little bit more muted, a little bit warmer. I feel like a little bit more orangey than it reads. It's really lovely to use, and I used it quite a bit. And then its brighter sister is, oh, is there a, no, there's no pigment info here. It's quite a shame. And then this one is Gold Cadmium Yellow. This is also, again, super, super intense, to be used with caution. And this one is showing on screen very accurately. I enjoyed using it together with my pink. And yeah, I have a ton left. And then this is that fluorescent red pigment that I shared with my friend. And this is by Sennelier. And it's just insane. It's insane. This color makes me excited, again, to be used with caution, but it's just super fun. This is quite expensive. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but you know, we shared it. I should probably go and wash my hands immediately. Okay, and the last pigment I want to show you was gifted to me by Eva, the incredibly generous Eva. And this is Ultramarine Blue Dark. I loved, loved, loved using this. It is so glorious, and yeah, isn't that one of the most beautiful things you've seen? It just makes me so happy. And that is it. Those are the things that I bought for the course. The rest I used Eva's materials that she kindly shared with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon in another one. Take care. Bye bye.